Alright, let's be real, houseplants are awesome. Until they start dying on you. We've all been there, right? You bring home this beautiful plant, you water it, give it sunlight, maybe even talk to it a little, and then, boom. Brown leaves, droopy stems, and a whole lot of disappointment. But what if I told you there are plants out there that just refuse to die? Yep, I'm talking about the longest living, hardiest houseplants you can have in your home. These green buddies can stick around for decades, some even outliving their owners. So today, we're diving into 11 of the longest-lived houseplants for your indoor gardenons that'll stick around for the long haul. Whether you've got a green thumb or you're just trying to keep something alive in your space, I've got you covered. Let's get into it. All right, first up, the money tree. Now, this little guy isn't just about looking good. People say it brings good luck and wealth. But honestly, the real fortune here is that it's nearly impossible to kill. With the right care, a money tree can live for decades. Just give it bright, indirect light, water it when the soil dries out, and don't drown it, trust me. These guys hate wet feet. See this little one? In a few years, it could be this big. And if you take care of it, it might just outlive you. Talk about an investment. Next up, we've got the Jade Plant, basically the grandpa of houseplants. These guys can live for generations. I'm talking 50, 60, even 100 years if you treat them right. So, yeah, this plant might be in your family longer than your dog. The secret? Neglect. Seriously, they thrive on it. Just stick it in bright light, water it once in a while when the soil's bone dry, and whatever you dode, overwater. These guys store water in their leaves like little camels. See how thick these leaves are? That's why this thing is almost indestructible. So if you want a plant that'll last longer than your lease, Jade Plant's your guy. Alright, this one's a personal favorite, the Ponytail Palm. And get this, it's not actually a palm. It's more like a desert tree with a built-in water tank. That big, bulbous base? That's where it stores water, which means you can forget to water it for weeks, and it won't even care. These guys are slow growers, but they can live over 100 years. Yep, this little plant could end up as a massive tree, so if you get one, think of it as a long-term roommate. Plus, look at this, it's like having a plant with a built-in bad hair day. Low maintenance, lives forever, and kinda stylish? Ponytail Palm's got it all. Alright, let's talk about the plant that's basically your personal first aid kit, Aloe Vera. Not only does it live for decades, but if you ever get a sunburn, this thing's got your back. Just snap off a leaf, and boom, instant relief. The trick to keeping aloe happy? Bright light and forgetting to water it. Seriously, this thing loves to dry out. Overwatering? That's how you turn it into mush. And trust me, nobody wants that. And the best part? Aloe makes little baby plants, so you start with one. And in a few years, you'll have a whole aloe army. Live long, look cool, and fix your sunburn? Yeah, this one's a keeper. Alright, if you want a plant that's practically unkillable, meet the snake plant. This thing thrives on neglect, low light. No water for weeks, and it's still standing tall. It's like the Chuck Norris of houseplants. Not only does it live for decades, but it's also one of the best air purifying plants out there. NASA even tested it, so yeah. It's basically space approved for cleaning the air while you sleep. And get this, snake plants don't just survive, they multiply. Give it time, and you'll have little baby plants popping up everywhere. Easy, stylish, and hard to kill? That's a win in my book. Alright, if you've got a track record of killing plants, the ZZ plant is your redemption story. This thing is basically a living sculpture, glossy leaves, grows slow, and it'll survive even if you completely forget about it for months. It's got these underground tubers that store water, so overwatering? That's the only way to mess this one up. Just give it a drink when the soil is bone dry, and you're golden. And here's the crazy part, ZZ plants can live for decades. Get one today, and it might just be hanging around longer than your furniture. Set it and forget it, that's my kind of houseplant. Alright, let's add some color to the list. This is a bromeliad. Looks tropical, right? That's 'cause it is. And even though the flower lasts months, the plant itself can stick around for years. So, yeah, it's more than just a pretty face. The trick with these guys? Water into the center cup, not the soil. And they love bright, indirect light. Give them that, and they'll reward you with a bloom that lasts forever. Well, almost. Now, here's the cool part. When the main plant's done blooming, it makes little baby plants so you don't lose it. You just get a new generation. Basically, Bromeliads keep the family name going. Alright, if you want a plant that screams jungle vibes, this is it, Monstera Deliciosa. It's been a houseplant favorite for decades, and if you treat it right, it can live for generations. Seriously, this thing can outlive your couch. Those big, holy leaves? That's nature's way of letting light through in the wild. And check this out. These guys grow aerial roots that reach down for support. Give them a moss pole, and they'll climb like crazy. Best part? They're super easy to propagate. Snip a stem with a node, stick it in water, and boom, you've got another Monstera. Low effort, high reward, and it just keeps getting bigger? Yeah, this one's a classic. Alright, meet the dumb cane, or Dieffenbachia if you want to get fancy. This one's been a houseplant favorite for ages, and for good reason. It's tough, grows fast, and those patterned leaves? Absolute showstoppers. The secret to keeping it happy? Bright, indirect light, and just enough water to keep the soil slightly moist. It's a fast grower, so don't be surprised if it doubles in size before you even notice. Oh, and heads up, this plant's sap is irritating if you get it on your skin or in your mouth. So maybe don't go chewing on the leaves. Otherwise, it's an easy, long-lasting plant that brings serious style to any space. Alright, if you're looking for a plant that's low effort, high reward, this is the one. Heartleaf Philodendron. This thing grows fast, lives for decades, and doesn't ask for much. Plus, those little heart-shaped leaves, kinda perfect, right? You can let it trail down or train it to climb. It'll do whatever you want. And the care? Super easy. Just keep the soil lightly moist. Give it some indirect light, and this thing will keep growing forever. And the best part? It's ridiculously easy to propagate. Snip a vine, stick it in water, and boom, new plant. Seriously, this is one of the best beginner plants out there. You can't go wrong with a Heartleaf Philodendron. Now this is a plant that makes a statement, the Areca Palm. Tall, tropical, and a natural air purifier. This beauty can stick around for decades if you take care of it. Basically, it's like having a little piece of paradise in your home. The key? Bright, indirect light, and just enough water to keep the soil lightly moist. Oh, and it loves a little humidity, so if your air is dry, give it a mist now and then. This thing grows slowly but steadily, and before you know it, it'll be a giant. Take care of it, and you'll have a stunning, long-lived palm that'll make any space feel like a vacation spot. Alright, there you have it, 11 houseplants that can stick around for years, even decades, with the right care. Whether you want a low-maintenance option or a statement plant, there's something for everyone. Got a favorite from the list? Or maybe you already have one of these at home. Let me know in the comments. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss out on more plant tips. See ya in the next one.